Hello, today we will be covering the topic of economics. We will be discussing certain vocabulary and connecting it to real-world scenarios and how it affects others. First off, what is economics? It's not just a class you're required to take in high school. Economics is the branch of knowledge concerning the production, consumption, and transfer of wealth and materials. It's a complex process in which we can see the results all around us. Let's start with the basic vocabulary. Something that is going to be brought up a lot in this video are goods. Goods can be close to anything. They're products created and sold by businesses. From the pencil case you purchased for school to the bag of chips currently sitting in your kitchen. The businesses that create these goods are referred to as producers. They are the ones who supply the funds and begin the process of creating said goods. They then pass on their products to distributors, which are different businesses that purchase and sell them. Distributors could range from traders overseas, buyers, retailers, dealers, branded marketers, and so on. From here, the products are then bought by consumers, people who buy goods and services for personal use. If you do any kind of shopping online, grocery, clothing, etc., you are a consumer. You could argue everyone is at different times. You're also a consumer if you pay for services such as being waited on at a restaurant, getting a massage, riding the bus to work, or even getting your car washed. Now that we know the basics, let's move on to the more complex vocab. We'll start with the term scarcity. As many know, when something is scarce, it is hard to come by and generally means it is in a small or limited quantity. In economics, scarcity refers to when demand for an item is greater than the supply available. An example of this would be of certain products during COVID-19 during the pandemic. There was a huge panic, and people began to buy products such as toilet paper and hand sanitizer in mass bulks, diminishing the supply. Because the demand was so great, said products became a scarcity, hence hard to come by at stores for a while. Next, we have opportunity costs. Typically, when running a business, you have to make decisions and choose between varying options. An opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from the alternative options that were not chosen. Once you've made your decision, you lose the benefits the other options may have offered. Let's say you as a business owner need to choose between two potential employees to hire. You can only hire one. In this case, the job they are being hired for is to care for an exotic animal at your rescue center. Employee 1 has a degree in zoology and zoo care, but has never actually been in contact with any non-domestic animals. Employee 2 only has a degree in biology, however spent 9 years working at a local zoo caring for several animals including tigers, sloths, monkeys, and kangaroos. If you choose employee 1, the opportunity cost will be the loss of valuable experience employee 2 has working with exotic animals. If you choose employee 2, the opportunity cost will be the loss of knowledge and education employee 1 has that lines up with the line of work you are hiring for. Next, we have wants and needs. It's pretty simple, but to clarify a bit more, a need is something crucial or necessary to live. For example, water, food, housing, etc. A want is something that will improve your quality of life, but that is not exactly necessary to live. For example, phones, cars, computers, furniture, etc. Next, incentives. This one is a bit more complicated in basic terms, as incentive is a form of encouragement or motivation for someone to do or buy something. In economics, this can be monetary or materialistic, like what is going to motivate a consumer to continue buying products from a certain brand. Quality, price, maybe the price dropped or the quality of the item is extremely good. Now, this is a circular flow model of economics. It can be linked back to what I said about products going from producers to distributors and finally to consumers. It illustrates the circulation of products and money and the process that many of our day-to-day items go through. Back on the topic of products, we also need to discuss factors of production. There are certain things that, if affected, could either increase or decrease production of an item. Factors of production are the inputs necessary for the creation of goods or services. These factors are land, referring to any natural resources like wood, water, oil, plants, you get the idea. Labor, meaning effort contributed by humans, or in other words, the employees needed to operate and manage the production of these items and services. Capital, referring to machinery, tools, and buildings. There's physical capital and human capital. Physical capital includes man-made objects like machines and tools, while human capital refers to education or training employees have received that will aid in the production process, like a degree. And finally, entrepreneurship refers to a person who combines the other factors, usually a business owner, manager, or producer, also known as entrepreneurs. To help explain the effects these factors can have, let's move on to demand and supply shifters. Just to review, demand refers to the amount of people or consumers that want or need a certain product or service. Supply refers to the quantity available of a certain product or service. Demand shifters include tastes and preferences. Pretty explanatory on its own, but basically the popularity of an item, for example, trends. Number of consumers, the change in number of people who want a particular good. Price of related goods, the increase or decrease of the price of substitute or complementary items. Substitute items refer to alternative products or brands that can be used instead of the original. For example, buying Skippy peanut butter instead of Jif peanut butter. If the price of Jif peanut butter increases, it's more likely customers will rather buy Skippy peanut butter. Complementary items refer to products often bought with said product, for example, hot dog sausages and buns. If the price of the sausages decreases, demand for hot dog buns will increase. Disposable income, referring to the amount of money earned by consumers. And future expectations, referring to the knowledge of an upcoming change in pricing or supply. For example, future sales or a price increase. An exemplary scenario of a demand shift would be Black Friday. Demand for certain products decreases as November approaches because people begin to save money for the lower prices they'll get on Black Friday. The demand shifter in this case would be future expectations. Supply shifters include price and availability of resources, technology and efficiency of production, government incentives or influences, future expectations, and number of suppliers. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's say a business is producing pastries, but the price of flour and eggs suddenly increases because of low availability. The supply shifter here is price and availability because the price of the flour and eggs, which are major ingredients needed in pastries, has increased. Supply will decrease because of the added cost needed to produce them. That will conclude the video for today. We will discuss this further in another. Thank you for watching.